So greetings, greetings, greetings. I understand that the change of time is going to throw off a lot of you, but unfortunately, I have to schedule when it is convenient. In the meanwhile, so 12 o'clock is convenient, and this is why it is important to subscribe so that when the schedule is there, you get a notification and you can be able to come online whilst I'm streaming. Otherwise, like many of you, you will miss the time schedule and the algorithm will also be thrown off. Hence the reason why a lot of people have missed, thousands of you have missed the previous lives that I've had. But we'll get back to that afternoon time in the near future. For now, I have to work around the schedule that I have at my disposal right now. And for those who may not be online right now, you can share, those who are there, you can share the broadcast even as we go on. And remember to give the thumbs up or the like. That helps to inform the algorithm that the folks want to be aware and want to follow. So the more likes you have, it's the more the algorithm would coordinate to suit the timing of the show. So when you come on board, hit the like button. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, just hit the subscribe button there. Just one click with your thumb, and then you subscribe to the channel. And of course, I want to hear from you. So be sure to express your intelligent thought in the comment section, because I'm here to speak not just fact, but truth to stupidity that keeps coming from the other side. And I bring to you a different kind of politicking. This is not about campaigns for me. This is not about which party has what it takes. This is about destiny, providence. This is about what is best, what is right, and what is godly for Guyana. Therefore, I have to tailor my broadcast, my message, my rhetoric in a certain way as to speak to the narrative. Can't beat around. I cannot consider people's feelings and compromise statements because I care about how people feel. Quite frankly, I don't. I don't care about how people feel. I care about the future of Guyana. I care about the security, the safety, the economic growth, and continued progress of Guyana. That's all I care about. So you, the persons who are on par, who are in tune, consolidate your position. Let's do this together. We are in this together. I work for you. I serve you. So I need to say it the way it needs to be said. And like I said before, I don't care about people's feelings because it's quite frank and it's evident that a lot of the people who seem to take offense in what I say, they don't care about me either, nor Guyana. What I want to touch on, welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I'm Dr. Prasad, Kenny Sherwin Warner Prasad. Yes. There is nothing entertaining about the budget presentation in the parliament. Absolutely nothing. It's the usual circus. It's the usual laying of blame. It's the usual political bullshit. There's nothing informative, educational about the parliament or the budget presentation. Absolutely nothing. Our government, our country, has systems in place that will hold any government accountable as to how they utilize the resources of the country to the benefit of the citizens. You don't need a parliament for that. So don't let me spend time on the bullshit the parliament seems to be getting involved in. It's just a bunch of clowns dressed with a fine suit at the expense of taxpayers' money and cussing out each other. That's it. Nothing meritorious about even being a part of that audience. If you are not on the part of the People's Progressive Party, if you are not on the side of the government, you are a waste of time in the parliament. Your presence there is a waste of time. Nothing you say makes a difference. Nothing you say has any impact. But what is even good and remarkable, what I can use to strengthen my position regarding the issues I deal with when it comes to Guyana, is let's look at the fighters, the warriors for the Black people. The warriors for the Black people. And this very cute one, the pretty, the sellout, the professional escort. Now, when I say escort, you can escort. It doesn't always have to be sexual. So, Amanza Walter Desire, don't go saying that I call you a prostitute. I said professional escort, political escort. Since you helped to escort Azriddin Mohammed into the parliament as the opposition leader, that title rightly fits you, Amanza, and the fact that you're kind of hot, even so, it suits you, political escort. Since allegedly you like the feel of paper, allegedly, I'm speaking after, your critics. We can understand that you have to be entertaining and you have to work for your money, not the taxpayers' money. Whoever your sponsors are, you got to work for them. But I want to arrest Amanza Walter Desire's performance in the parliament just for a few seconds. Because women like that, you can't really go too long. They can't bear the torture of a marathon. You got to be quick. Slam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Now, Amanza, you seem to be obsessed with this foreign affairs thing. It's like your mind is out of Guyana. You have a thing. You have a weakness for foreigners. You want this foreign policy issue. You're always on that thing. The APNU, you were for the shadow foreign minister, whatever. I'm shadow home affairs minister. I borrowed that title, shadow, from you guys. Amanza, what I would say to you is this. First of all, any Venezuelan that crossed the border, any Venezuelan man who crossed the border and run into you, if he don't immediately develop a crush or an obsession, he's gay. So you won't have a problem getting attention from Venezuelan men who cross the border. But listen to this fact, Amanda. Your president, Granger, 2015-2020, was such a loser. He was such a fucking idiot that nobody wanted to come to Guyana. They rather go to Haiti, Dominica, Brazil. Nobody wanted to come to Guyana. Matter of fact, people left Guyana. Guyanese who had what it took to build themselves in Guyana, they ran from Guyana during the 5 years of Granger, your boss. And you were in the same government too, Amanda Walton. Why didn't you implement your so-called foreign policies then? You didn't have to. Why? Because nobody was interested in you nor Granger. And unfortunately, Guyana suffered as a result of who led the country. So this pretentious act of yours to always keep attacking the foreign policy of President Irfan Ali's government, the foreign policy is not for Hugh Todd. He's the minister, but it's not his policies. The policies of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is a collective effort of the entire Irfan Ali administration. All the players involved come together and formulate those policies that is recognized and respected around the world. Therefore, because of our beautiful genius and all the men in the PPP, in the Irfan Ali cabinet, all the men can compete with their president when it comes to looks. All the men in the People's Progressive Party, in the cabinet of Irfan Ali, can compete with President Irfan Ali when it comes to looks. Because the PPP attracts good-looking men. This is why your eyes, Amanda, seem to be always fixed on the men in the PPP. You know, you're picking on Hugh Todd. I can understand if you are attracted to the guy. He's handsome. Some people told me before that when they in the past they thought that he was me, because to some extent the guy looks like me. I'm better looking. Anyway, if he looks like me, then you can tell, yeah, he's good looking. So I get it, Amanda. You have a crush on Hugh Todd, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Why did you just date the guy? Because you cannot attack the foreign policy of President Irfan Ali. The whole world respects the foreign policy of the government. This is why people are crossing the border just to get into Guyana. People just want to get into Guyana from everywhere. Venezuela, Brazil, Colombia, Haiti, Suriname, French Guyana, you name it. Name it. And they want to come to Guyana. Why? Because Guyana is attractive. Guyana is beautiful. Guyana provides a future for everyone who comes to the country. They see a lot of money, potential, jobs, security, livelihood. This is why they're coming to Guyana. So the president, our president, is seeing the situation and he is telling Guyanese around the world, listen, man, look at how other people are taking advantage of your country. You think those people aren't concerned about their safety? You think they're not concerned about their security? Of course they are. But those people from other countries that are coming to Guyana, relocating to Guyana, they're not listening to the PNC. They're not listening to Azruddin Mohammed and his bunch of crooks. They're listening to real Guyanese, like Dr. Prasad, myself, like the president, like all the pages and the promoters of Guyana that are promoting a positive image of Guyana. So the rest of the world is seeing that and they're coming to Guyana to build their future. So the president is telling the rest of Guyanese, actual Guyanese from around the world, come home. Come home. Don't let the foreigners outnumber you. If they can see worth in your country, come on, you can't see much more blessings. So everywhere President Ali goes, he's telling Guyanese, come back, we need you. We have so much land, we have so much space, we need people to fill it. All these roads we are building, all these bridges, all these companies, all these businesses, we need people to run them. We need people to take loans from the bank. We need people to shop in the stores. We need people to drive on the roadways. We need people to make babies. We need people to get married. We even need more churches to be opened. But if you don't come, the foreigners will do it. The foreigners are going to get legalized. They're going to become Guyanese citizens. They're going to build real estate. They're going to populate the country with their children. Where would you be? So President Irfan Ali and his foreign policy is what is attracting the world to come to Guyana. Amanzo Walter Desir, you're quite a performer. You turn men on when you are standing at the podium with all your modeling moves and your body language and all kinds of things. It's sexual. That's what the parliament became. So guess what? Go to Congress Place with Campbell and a bunch of lunatics. Forget Congress Place, because they wouldn't provide any meals or refreshments. Go to the headquarters of your new boss, Azruddin Mohammed. He's with his head now. Yeah, he has brain problems. He and his father. I've said before that they would cry sick. Now they're crying sick just to prolong the case, just to get the case dismissed. Go comfort Azruddin Mohammed, Amanda. I'm sure he's going to put, what's her name again? He's going to put her aside and say, honey, take a break. And, this cutie for a change. Be welcome there, Amanda. Good. Because like I said, nobody wanted to come to Guyana under Granger. It was a shithole. Now it's a heaven. You jealous. So, Odessa, obesity, fuck muss. How the hell did you get there? How did you get there? Don't tell me. Negroes put you there. Not black people. Negroes. Afro-Guyanese, you have followed the session of the parliament. To what extent you have done it or whatever. Can you honestly say that you signed up to be represented by Odessa? Have you seen her? Have you looked at her? She is supposed to be debating an affluent budget in the most sophisticated, professional, elegant way. But there she stands, and her facial expression is the same expression victims see when these low-life thugs from the ghetto of Guyana approaches them to rob them. I tell you, I kid you not, Odessa Primus, you don't belong there. You are too fucking ugly for the parliament. For heaven's sake, man, there should be a limit. There should be a limit, man. Norton did the right thing. He quit. You should follow Norton. You are a disgrace, Odessa Primus. For the parliament, a fucking disgrace. You are very unpleasant, very unpleasant. Read the room, man. Read the room. Look on the other side. Look at look at the PPP. Everybody is beautiful. Everybody, including the black ones. Look at the PNC. They're all good looking. Look at your party. A fucking low-life pandit, as if he's at the end of his roads, walking behind the Mohammeds at the courthouse, like if he's the fucking lawyer or he's a baggage carrier. The wasteful pandit that couldn't make it under the PPP in the Gaisuko, he's sucking up now under the Mohammeds. But that's I'm telling you like it is. I'm calling it out like it is. You should quit. Fire yourself. Do like your boss. Make an excuse not to go to the parliament. Or protest for being on camera. You're a felt man. You talk about your heart pains you because of the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports. Your heart should pain you because you are not healthy. You are a junk food carrier. You're not healthy. You're not taking care of your health. You are a bad example. And what kind of culture? You were in the arts? I mean, yeah, I know people like you are comedic, you know, and people like to laugh when you're performing. You act like a fool, so you get, okay, in that respect, I understand. But if you are giving or making a condition or a claim that most of these artists, Henry Rodney and this Habib Khan and these people who may have died allegedly poor, and you blame that on the PPP. Did the PPP employ these legends to get into comedy? These are a path that they choose. Everybody choose the field they want to go in. It is not a burden of the government or anybody to sponsor anybody. It's a personal choice. You are pushing an industry that is dead. It is dead. This is the age of the internet. Everybody's a movie star. Everybody's a producer. Everybody creates content. Who do you think has the time to go to these cultural shows? Who does? When they can stay on their home, in their homes on their phone, and they can stream it live. You think they're going to go pay money? And besides, the time for that is over. The period when these things mattered, the internet didn't exist. People actually had to show up physically for entertainment. Now there's entertainment everywhere. Odessa, you are entertainment number one. People can look at you and be entertained without you saying anything. This culture thing is a joke. What culture? Nobody's impressed with black culture. 70% of the people who might be in the whole sports business, whatever it is, are Afro-Guyanese. Who is interested in that? Why don't you push the Afro-Guyanese that are wasting time behind culture and sports into education? Why don't you push them there? Do your job. Don't send them to play football and basketball and all these things. It's a waste of time. It takes a toll on them physically, emotionally. Look at what the president did. The president made education free. The president has invested billions in the education sector. Every department. Push the black people to go study. Get diplomas and degrees, technology, science, infrastructure, building, construction, engineering. Push them there. That's the culture that blacks should develop. The culture of academics. Academic teaches discipline. They can become independent. If you want to do culture as a side hustle, good for you. But the main focus should be pursuing your degrees and your masters and whatever it is in academia. That's what you should be pushing. And the fact that it's for free, what's the claim? You people are stuck on stupid, just like David Hines. I have to bring him in too. Afro-Guyanese, listen to the positions of your representatives in the PNC and the win. All of them are, all they're focusing on is free money, cash grants, more free money, creating laziness, complaining, complaining, complaining. None of them are capitalizing on the thousands of projects that the government has implemented and has been funding to push Guyanese, Afro-Guyanese to take advantage of it. They're not doing that. And you say these are your representatives? They're making you look bad because they're speaking for you. They're saying all you want is some free money and stay home and sleep and complain about the price of gas. But if you have a job that is available, coupled with all the grants the government is giving, what else do you want? You're working, plus you're getting cash grant, plus you're getting benefits. All of that comes together with your salary. What's your complaint? What is your problem? They're not focusing on that. They're focusing on you going playing every weekend, going to some function, having some cultural show once every 6 months. And that one-time appearance should make you live for the rest of the year with the income from that. It's fucking bullshit. It's producing a bunch of losers. This is why the Afro-Guyanese community are such a waste, because of the people who lead them. I even think 6 billion for Ministry of Sports and Culture is too much money. Every year you're going to build stadiums. You're going to open recreational parks. Every year the budget, that's all you can do. You're going to sponsor people to go abroad and play football and basketball. Why don't you give out scholarships for the Ministry of Sports and Culture? But then you don't have to give out scholarship because education is free. David Hines is pushing for the same thing. He wants education to come back at a price. He has a problem with the university being free. Yes, David Hines, the black savior, the man who claims that he has all the blacks on his back. He has a problem with the free education that the Ali government has implemented. No, he doesn't want that. He wants education to be paid for, like the PNC. Well, he is a PNC, but that's a mentality. So no, slash the online academy program and give it to the university. So his friends at the university can fund themselves. These are the black people that are ruling the blacks in Guyana. This is why you can't go anywhere. This is why your lives are what it is. You can't see beyond the mediocrity of these people. Black people, look at your options. Listen to the people who represent you. All they're talking about is creating more laziness, producing more criminals, more complaints. That's all they talk about. They're not talking about development for you. The government is budgeting if 50% of the budget goes toward infrastructure. How is that a bad thing? Infrastructure, what is infrastructure? It means construction. In every ministry, what construction requires? Engineers, laborers, materials. What does that convert into? Human resources, human capital. 50% of the budget that goes toward infrastructure, that is translated to people. Because people got to build the roads. People have to build the bridges. People have to be the ones to conduct the services from this issue. But like I said again, if we keep our mind and focus on free and free and free, we will miss the point. The budget of Irfan Ali is creating jobs. That's what people focus is, people centered is, creating jobs. And how do you create jobs? That's what the Ali government is doing. That's why a lot of people are leaving foreign countries and going to Guyana because of the infrastructure boom. Idiots. Why your family leaves Guyana to go to Trinidad? To do what? Work. Where? Infrastructure. They go to the St. Martin. They go to when these places are devastated by hurricane. What do they go for? Infrastructure, construction. That's where they make the money. But no, Guyana should not get into that boom. Guyana should continue to fund the lazy black people in Guyana. Afro-Guyanese. Let me change the whole political scope here. I'm taking it light because I'm still, going through this process. Do you really want black people to rule you? We have a ministry of local government. We have a lovely minister, Priya Manikchan, who heads that ministry. Why do we even need elections? Why you need local government elections? You already have a ministry that manages the local government. What is it, the democratic thing? We have a federal system now. I think you should abolish the whole waste of money and waste of time with local government. This thing should be whoever wins the election controls the local government, state and local. Because when you have a local government that is divided, you can't get the job done. The PNC and their councillors and their cronies throughout the local government, whichever region or whichever council or whichever NDC they win, would always be opposed to policies of the ruling party. You're going through this process of local government election to have the PNC devastated again. So Guyanese of African descent, I'm asking you again, who represents you? Every neighborhood where Afro-Guyanese live, you have a large population of Indo-Guyanese. So you tell me, if the PPP controls all the regions, the local government areas and councils, how is that going to be discriminated against you? If the PPP only focuses on doing things for their people, which they're not, but let's say that they're doing that. Tell me, Afro-Guyanese, if you're living in communities where you have Indo-Guyanese living there too, and the PPP are building those communities because of Indo-Guyanese, aren't you going to benefit too? Of course you'll benefit. You think they're going to dig the drain in front of an Indo-Guyanese and skip your house? If they're building roads, the whole throughout the community. Look at Buxton. Look at the East Coast, where they have this predominantly black villages. What did the PNC did for those villages during the elections or the governance of Granger? Nothing. Who built those villages? From Jagdeo to Ramatar to Ali. They didn't skip black villages and build Indian villages. So you tell me, how is it to your detriment to have the local government elections dominated by the PPP candidates? All the candidates on the list for the PPP are not Indo-Guyanese. Matter of fact, a large number of them are blacks. But you prefer for them to be blacks under the PNC? Didn't you see how the PNC treated the black councillors under Granger? A lot of them quit. That's why they left the party. Even Linden, there are a lot of people who some former mayors of Linden, they exposed the evil of the PNC against Linden. Now you have Georgetown. This is your chance to recover. This is your chance for Georgetown to really rise to the challenge, to really make a name for yourself, to return to that day when Georgetown was the capital of the Caribbean. You still want and believe that the PNC has what it takes to do anything for Georgetown? They had 5 years to impress you. But in the 5 years, it became worse and worse and nastier and stinker. This shouldn't be a challenge. This shouldn't be any debate as to who should control the local government and dominate. It shouldn't be a debate. The PPP must take control of the local government councils throughout the country. Nobody loses. The PNC wants an opportunity to steal since they lost the elections. So they think if they control the local government or whatever NDCs, and monies are allocated to those NDCs, a cut of it has to go back to Congress Place. Now we have the Wayne headquarters. He's hoping to dominate that too. But this is where your priorities are questioned, Afro-Guyanese. You have already made a shame of yourself. You have already embarrassed yourself by electing a criminal who is pulling all the tricks up his sleeve. His case was thrown out the High Court as stupid. He has to go on with the extradition. He has to leave the country. The same thing I said before on medication. He's going to use the fact that he's opposition leader, therefore he needs to have. That's what they're using now. That's the defense they're using now. Oh, he's opposition leader. He should be given some kind of concession. He should give some kind of priority. He has to study. Really? He has to prepare for the budget. Really? The man don't study. He has 16 members of parliament. You mean he has to educate them as to how to debate the budget? When the only thing that he could memorize is number plate of cars passing by? That was a thing he did as a child. He has lost that capacity when he became a man. What memorization? This is the defense they're using now, and good, because of our learned judges and learned magistrate, they understood this bullshit. The man was set to be before the court since last year, November. Since long before elections. Now his defense is that he's opposition leader. He can't. No. Afro-Guyanese, it's your fault. You did it. If you didn't allow yourself to be bought so cheap and sold your soul to the devil, you wouldn't have to deal with that hideous looking human, Odessa Primus, and that criminal who continued to embarrass you. You could have just stuck with Norton. I mean, come on, you left one ugly for another. Unpleasant men can still get pussy. Power and money. Women don't care how you look. You got power, you got money, they'll fuck you. Tell me the man, besides Azruddin Mohammed, which man would be interested in Odessa Primus? Who? He gotta be a loser. He has to be a loser. You are better off with Norton. Now look, imagine if Azruddin decided to say to Tabitha, well, you didn't look out for me the way you should. I'm handing this reign over to Odessa. Oh my gosh. She'll be your leader. Are you proud of yourself? You're happy now? But then again, we don't care. That's your choice. That's your taste. That's the standards of the ghetto. The rest of Guyana, we know our standard. Our standard is President Irfan Ali. My whole concern is, when it comes to that, is that you understand that you do not repeat the mistakes of September last year. That's my concern. That you understand you are better off. You are better off. And I need this to stick. I need this to stick to Afro-Guyanese. Listen to me now. You are guaranteed No matter where in the country you are, an Indo-Guyanese would faster run to your rescue, bail you out of trouble, give you food to eat, put clothes on your back, even give you a hammock to sleep in, while at the same time being worried about their safety that you might be a fucking criminal. They will still risk it to help you, a black person, than your own kind. And you want to risk putting black leaders in your local NDCs to run your neighborhoods. Look at your neighborhoods during the PNC time compared to now. Elections is over, but still Ali is everywhere. Everywhere. He don't have to run for elections again. He don't have to fight to be president again. He's already president. But he continues to reach out to every neighborhood throughout the country. But these people who claim to represent you, Afro-Guyanese, they can't deliver. They never did. Look at their past, and you can predict their future. Look at the past of the NDCs, controlled by black people. They sell you out. They take bribes. And who do they take bribes from? The same people they tell you not to trust is the same people they're taking money from under the table to sell you out. You might as well put those people in charge of you, because you're putting the black people in charge of you, and they're selling you out to the same people they're telling you you shouldn't trust. And I'm talking Indo-Guyanese. Put Indo-Guyanese in charge of your NDCs. You think they're going to sell you out? They wouldn't risk it because they don't want to lose your trust. They wouldn't take the chance. They would be embarrassed. Oh yes, Indians are more quickly embarrassed than black people. Indo-Guyanese or Indians, they feel shame very fast. Very quick. They're embarrassed. The slightest thing. Because of that, they're always trying to, hey, no, they go by the book, go by the book, no, go by the book. No corruption, no this, no. Why? Because they're embarrassed if they're caught. It's not the same with blacks. They would fight you, defend their crime, defend their corruption. You are better off putting Indians in your local NDCs as your chairman, as your councillors. Guyanese, you are better off, man. I'm telling you what you already know. You already know that. Indian people don't help Indian people. They help black people. It's a fact. How do I know that? Let me share a secret with you. There are a lot of Indian people, Indo-Guyanese, powerful, very powerful Indo-Guyanese that follows me. They tune into me practically every day. You know what some of them tell me? They would love to support me, but their conscience wouldn't allow them to. Why? Because I'm a racist. Imagine that. A fucking Indian is telling me I'm a racist. So I said, explain yourself. Yeah, a lot of the things I'm saying is true, yes, but if it is known that they're supporting me, they would get into trouble because they're supporting racism against black people. I understand. So understand this, Afro-Guyanese. Rich Indian people, millionaires, refuse to support me because they think I am a racist against black people. These same people are supporting black people that are racial against Indian, but they won't support me because I'm racial against black people. But the black people who are supporting mostly Smelly Smell, Burke, Granger, David, all these people, David Hines, all these people, the black people are doing it proudly, openly. They're sending donations to Paul Slow, David Hines, and all these pundits, Sherrod, all of them, they're getting support from black people, knowing that these people are racial against Indians. Even some Indians are supporting these people, knowing that they're racial against Indians. But for me, they're telling me they can't support me because I am racial against black people. Indian people are telling me that. You see my dilemma? So I tell them now, and don't worry, I ain't gonna call your names. I won't put you in that. And don't worry, I ain't gonna call your name, but I'll tell you now. What I'm fighting for, what I'm pushing for, is to benefit even you who boycott me. Because if Afro-Guyanese understands their position on life's stage, we all will benefit. And I'm saying it and I'll repeat it. With or without your support, I'll repeat it. Afro-Guyanese can never govern Guyana. The only way Guyana can continue to progress is in the hands of Indians. Indo-Guyanese. The only way. Because the people who keep Guyana's economy alive are Indians. The people who keep the foreign currency floating in Guyana are Indians. The people who keep the sugar, rice, agriculture, you name it, are Indians. There is no sector, even the gold sector. Which of the gold mining companies are owned and operated by a black person? Which? None. Not in Barnum's time, not in this time. Zero. So you tell me, blacks didn't get opportunities in the Barnum regime? Barnum was all for black people. He gave everything to black people. But yet, they didn't do anything with it because they are incapable of doing anything with it. Why? Because it is a status of humanity. It's a status of humanity. You want to prove my point? Look out of Guyana's borders. Out of Guyana's borders. Look in Africa. Who developed and is developing Africa? Black people? No. They're not. What makes you think that Guyanese blacks are different? It's the same genetic makeup. So this isn't a racist thing. I'm speaking as a matter of fact. Guyana is doomed. If it ever gets in the hands of black people, it is fucking doomed. And the local government elections is coming up. If you Guyanese are smart, and if you Indo-Guyanese, you think I'm racial, go vote for them niggas. Go vote for them. You think go vote for them. Whether you like me or not, I don't care. But you must like your country. You must love your country. You don't have to worship Irfan Ali or the PPP. You have to worship your own future. And if you have any respect for your ancestors' contribution to Guyana, you will only, always, and forever vote for the People's Progressive Party and for the candidates of the People's Progressive Party. Whomever the candidates are, they represent an ideology. There are a lot of blacks, Amerindians, Chinese, who are candidates in the PPP. They're not the issue. The issue is what they represent. The PNC represents poverty, laziness, witchcraft, crime, corruption, name it. So Indo-Guyanese, I'll keep saying it. I'm not racist. I love black people. I want the best for black people. But black people can only survive if they are subjective, if they submit to the leadership of the Indians. It's a fact. It's a matter of fact. Like I said, if you don't want to support what I'm doing, don't call me and say, I would like to, but please don't do it. Because the next time you do it, I'm going to call your name. Don't tell me you want to, and then you say, oh, but this or but that. I'm not interested in that. You either support what I do based on how I do it, or shut the fuck up. But you keep supporting the racist PNC, go continue. Do that. Support David Hines and the PNC. Do that. Vote for them. But the smart Guyanese who respect their lives, respect their future, understands that their enemy is not the Indo-Guyanese, their enemy is the black man. And unless you can recognize that, you would stay at a certain level and keep complaining and hoping for cash grants and free money and easy money, and crime will continue, crime will progress, and the foreigners, Amanda, will come in and take up space and benefit from the beauties that Guyana is offering, while you and your bunch of fuck-ups discourage the Guyanese for not returning home because you don't want them to see the beauty of their country. Thank you, President Ali, for doing what no other president has ever done before, making Guyana great. Until next time, this is Uncensored Guyana. Share this live. I want to hear your comments. Let me get the thumb. I don't know what time I'll be streaming tomorrow because I have to go for another surgery. But just subscribe to the channel, so if I will stream, you will get the notification and you'll understand when it will be broadcasted. But for now, I thank you for your attention. Goodbye.